Hey guys, this is the highlight of round 4 of Aragon and ERGP Championship. Let's see how I do.
Hi and welcome to ERacing GP. We are at the Global Edition 5. This is the 5th time we've run the Global Edition, where we run 4 categories of copper, bronze, silver and gold. My name's Alex Young, and next to me, I think this way or that way, is Amir Hazik, where we'll be your commentators for the first half of today. Amo, you want to take us through the standings?
Yep, and after about 3 rounds, Calvin Powell leads with 97 points and utterly dominant so far. His worst finish this season has been 10th. His other finishes have all been either on the podium or in the points. Andre Jens and Villanueva second, McGregor third after winning last time at Watkins Glen. Kenneth Wong a discreet fourth, with Dimas Muhammad rather rear-end happy, shall we say, because he's been rear-ending quite a few people in the races. He's in 5th, Sage Nico 6th, Murugan 7th, Shansia 8th, Nicky Lim and Brandon Watanabe tied for 10th, tied for 9th.
Some pretty close racing though with Calvin Powell. It's a small bit of a lead, but it's still not over, isn't it?
Yep.
We are at Aragon. We're on the Grand Prix track. It's the longest configuration where the cars drive on. The bikes, MotoGP comes here a lot, and they run on a slightly shorter configuration. If you watch on our screen right now, we've got Nico Sage, or Sage Nico. We're never quite sure which way that goes. I think we call him Nico Sage, probably. He's quickest at the moment. How old is he, Amo? He's like...
I think I recall from reading from a lot of people what they say he's actually either 8 or 9, so we can put around that ballpark, which is amazing to say the least, because there's so many kids who are racing in ERGP nowadays. They can be like future champions just coming through the ranks, so yeah. Nice to see that they're actually fast as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been great. We've got a lot of 8-year-olds, 12-year-olds joining the copper class. There he is, Sage Nico there on screen, getting ready to drive.
Right then, so we go into qualifying now. We're watching Sage Nico. He took a bit of his own sweet time there, about half a minute to get around the track, but nonetheless he's gotten underway now as he comes across the line to start his qualifying lap. Alex, what do you think that he'll end up here? Because so far at least he has been quite good in qualifying. His best start right now has been 4th, but 2/8 in the past 2 runs. Yeah, shows that he probably is not going to be threatening qualifying, unless we could be wrong here, because he was fast in practice just now.
Yeah, I mean, Nico's, you can see, even though he's so young, he's got a lot of natural talent. When the kids are this young, they don't really understand, explaining all the detailed stuff about how to drive a race car, they don't quite know. But you can see how much talent goes. He just does the laps, and he has a good natural feel for the balance of the car. And look, he's purple through Sector 1, so he is going quickest of all at the moment. You always feel he's on the cusp of a good result, but sometimes he's a bit naive with the racecraft, gets involved in incidents, and hasn't really achieved the full results. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Nico on the podium today, to be honest.
And of course we saw that evidently at the start of the season in Red Bull Ring, where he was running up in the podium positions. Then he just got kicked out due to too many incident points. So that's probably a bit of the raw exuberance that he has at a very young age. So he'll probably need to temper that a bit as the season goes on. In fact, as the years go on, if he continues SimRacing, he goes a bit wide there, just as we said. Raw exuberance, and that's it. He just went a bit wide there. Now he's going to have to restart the lap. So Nico then would have been pole for sure, because yes, he was setting purple sectors, but unfortunately he was probably one of the first drivers to break, one of the few drivers to have broken the timing, because we have no lap set yet. So we're watching Calvin Powell now.
Anyway, so he was on for a good lap but made a mistake. Now on with Calvin Powell, championship leader, let's not forget. Purple in Sector 1, purple in Sector 2, so this should be good enough to go quickest of all as he crosses the line. And there he is. He looks pretty happy with that lap. He is. Oh no.
And in fact, where did Sage actually get that lap from? Because we could have sworn that he actually went back into the start of pits. Oh no, wait, because Nico's actually in a different car. That was a completely different car that we're viewing it. I think that was either Keith Moore, because Keith Moore was driving one of those blue cars, so it might have been him that we were looking at. So apologies there for Sage. We got a completely wrong car, but there it is. Nico takes the lead in qualifying.
So Nico onto a better lap at the moment. Yeah, sorry, we had got the graphics wrong, and this is looking like a lot better. This looks like he's down a 10th on Sector 1, so he doesn't look like he's going to improve. There's still a lot more of the lap to go. But let's just go back to Keith Moe, because Keith Moe was, I think, the driver we were on just now. He's another young driver. I think he's how old is he? I think he's 7 years old. So again, great to see him out there doing well. He's not ready to run at the front yet. He still needs a bit more experience, but great to see the driver up there. Sage Nico though, wow, that's a really good lap by him. A 10th up on everyone else.
And interesting to see that he is a part of the Stratos team, so I think James Russell might be involved in coaching the kid. But yes, so currently, as it stands, almost 2 tenths ahead is Sage Nico, or Nico Sage, on pole positions.
Okay, so quite a close qualifying. Well, not that close to be honest. Actually, they were a bit spread out.
Yep.
And look at
he's
Nico.
psyched. He is absolutely psyched. In fact, he's probably knowing that he's on camera right now.
Yeah, he's really happy with that lap. Let's talk a little bit about Aragon. Aragon is it looks like a very simple track, but you got a lot of these radius corners that tighten up at the end. So drivers do often get track limits issues. So this is a tricky track. It's not as simple as you think, although there's a lot of run-up area. It's hard to get it quite right. 5
red lights now come on. And when they go out here, we're underway for the Copper class at Aragon. And there's a good start there for Sage Nico. Nico's actually got the jump on Breton Watanabe. Watanabe now has to hold off Calvin Powell, Murugan, and Villanueva as they come to turn 1. As Keith Moe has a bit of a slow start there, a bit gingerly even, as the rest of the field now stream through turn 1, 2, and 3. Sage Nico's got the getaway that he wanted. He's already a second ahead of Brandon Watanabe. Kevin Powell then still in 3rd, while Murugan has got up to 4th in front of Andres and Villanueva as they come through now. Turn 4 and 5. This is going to be very tricky for some of the cars because they had to brake so hard and try to turn without actually getting track limits on the outside. As one of the cars there spins around as we're not sure who spun around there, but the rest of the field goes through as
Sri Murugan.
Murugan goes off white, and there's that trickiness that we say, because despite having a lot of runoff area, there's a lot of heavy braking zone here for the cars to actually negotiate.
Yeah, so Watanabe there fending off Kelvin Powell, defended really well into those corners a couple corners ago, and has a bit of daylight now between him and the Kelvin Powell and the black car. Of course, the second black car there, Villanueva from Philippines in 4th position. Those two guys, these two black cars, they're the ones fighting out for the championship. So while we do want to see who wins the race, we also need to... Oh, Villanueva brakes really late and just about stops from going up the back of Kelvin Powell.
Well, that will be a real turnout for the books, isn't it? If both championship contenders hit right there.
And let's just remind ourselves that Nico Sage is at the leading quite well. But back to that battle between second position. Oh, nice move by Kelvin Powell down the inside. Just sent it from way back. I don't know if Watanabe expected him because he wasn't defending on this lap. And now it's allowed Villanueva through, and Watanabe goes down to 4th. Sri Murugan is recovered to 7th. Andrew Locke there, oh, having a good battle, and he's just had contact with Ronaldo Julie from Indonesia, and Julie goes off. Wow, I bet the stewards are having a look at that, but for now, Andrew Locke survives, and has now got John McGregor, the father of Jack, all over the back of him, and look down the inside. Chris Chew's going down the inside of John McGregor there, not able to do it just yet. Back at the front though, there we go. Nico Sage, look at that, 3.7 second gap, and then second position. Wow, Kelvin Powell extending his gap, his second position from Villanueva.
Wow, that's actually quite a surprise at how far that Nico has managed to pull ahead. Didn't expect him to actually pull off a gap this big in just a short period of time. In fact, we're already halfway through the race. So within 3 laps, he's pulled up a 3-second gap. It's going to be even further up because we know that Kelvin Powell, Villanueva, and Watanabe were squabbling earlier. The previous lap that allowed Powell out and Villanueva up a position. And in fact, it's actually increased to about 3.6 seconds as we cross the line. In fact, the gaps actually fluctuate because it's a live gap, but nonetheless, it's a fastest lap for Nico, 2:04.8.
Wow, that is a good lap. I don't think anyone's gotten... Wow, yeah, actually no one else is in the 4s that I can see, so really good lap. It's almost turning into a little bit of a dominating win. Or let's not talk it too early, but it's definitely a dominating lead at the moment.
We got about 4 minutes left to go. Sage Nico still well and truly serenely ahead, about 4 seconds of Kevin Powell now. And the drivers drivers in second, third, and fourth are not really battling each other. So Nico then has actually brilliant race pace to pull ahead of them. Wow,
it's really impressive. We saw that he was due a good result. We just talked about it in the pre-show, and he's just showing what he can do. And there we've got Jack McGregor. He's somehow found a way past Kenneth Wong out of picture. Kenneth Wong then runs wide at turn 1 and loses more ground to him. Sri Murugan there in 8th position, closing down that gap. Let's go back a bit more. It's a battle for 10th position right now between Sean Xia in the turquoise and orange car, and then Keith Moe in the blue car. These guys will be on the front row if they stay in these positions for race 2.
Yep.
And let's see if Nicky will... Yeah, Nicky does defend into this corner. Oh! And contact between the two of them. Oof, I'm going to have to say that was a mistake by Julie there. Because Nicky was defending the inside, but there was space to the left and to the right of him. But Ronaldo Julia, I think, got caught out by Nicky braking a little bit earlier than he expected, and he just went into the back of him.
As we look up in front, Sage Nico, who has been untroubled since the start of the race, a perfect launch off the line, and he's well on his way to take his first victory in this season, not only this season, but his first ever victory in ERGP.
Yeah, here's the battle for second position. Kelvin Powell, Watanabe in third, and Villanueva in fourth. Looks like it's kind of settled, although they are close enough. If one of them makes a mistake, you're gonna see someone coming through.
Yes.
Yeah, now these are the next few corners he needs to get right. He needs to get good. See, he's braking too late. It compromises his exit out of the right-hander, then compromises his entry into the left-hander. Although Watanabe made a mistake, and that's allowing Villanueva to come back at him.
Side by side, they go onto the back straight, coming up to turn 16. I think Villanueva has gotten a bit of a run, though they're going side by side here on the back straight, and Villanueva's just gotten in front of Watanabe. Has he got the line on the inside? Yes, he does. He's gonna actually take third place away on the final lap from Brandon Watanabe. Watanabe will be kicking himself, but meanwhile, back up in front, Nico there, he's nodding his head in acknowledgement. He comes across the line here to take the win in the Copper class at Motorland Aragon. There you go, both hands up in the air. Unfortunately, we don't have that driver animation to do so, but Sage Nico takes the win in Copper class, round 4, race 1.
He will be starting 11th on the grid for the next one. Hey, Nico, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay,
Wow, good result. Well done.
I was very happy for the race. I was obtaining the lead for quite a lot from the beginning of the race. And when I was the final lap, I was just so happy to win the first race in the division.
And this is probably your first post-race interview as well. So well done. We'll leave you so you can focus on the next race.
A bit of a candid interview there, but you know, it's a given because we've seen some kids being interviewed on the ERGP as well, like Yevon David, I think. Was it Yannick or Yevon? I'm not quite sure because they're all pretty much triplets. He was a bit shy on camera as well, so you can forgive him for that, but you cannot put past what he's put on track. It's an absolutely brilliant performance, and it's a lights the flight victory with the fastest lap to boot. So Nico from Calvin Powell, from Villanueva, and then Watanabe, Jack McGregor, Kenneth Wong, Sheree Murugan, Sean Sia, Andrew Lok, and Chris Chu. So an absolutely, utterly brilliant performance from the young Malaysian. As we now have the 5 red lights on here for the second race at Aragon. We're not looking at Sage Nico, actually. Nico's further behind in 12th place. We're looking at another young gun. It's Kimo up in front, and we get this race underway. And it's actually Kimo who has actually had a better launch off the line. Arifin goes onto the inside. Does he get the braking in time? Yes, he does. In fact, what a good launch through the first corner. He gets the whole shot. Azimi Arifin leads. Second is Kimo. Third is Andrew Loke, and fourth is Sean Seah as the drivers now stream their way up to sector 2.
Oof, Kenneth Wong that gets tagged there by Murugan. Murugan a little bit rough there, but he just about holds a bit of a drifting move there, and he survives, so now in 6th position.
Andrew Loke tries to go on the inside. Kimo, does he get a move state? Yes, he does. Locks up a bit, and he gets third place away. And Sean Seah opportunistically gets third place away from Kimo, as Nico Sage has actually moved his way up to 6th place from 12th. So that's a good start for him as well. He's actually making most use of his actually good starts to get back to get up through the order, and right now at least he's looking on course to actually score a double points finish as Kimo gets pushed wide a bit there by Kenneth Wong, and Wong actually takes away 5th place. Sage looking to actually try to be the big beneficiary of that, but unfortunately around the outside goes Jack McGregor. So we got all 3 kids who are the young guns of the future together here right now, as Murugan also wants to get in on the action. So Kimo then under siege here. He's trying his best to actually defend. He's going to do something like he did in the Hockenheim ring, where he defended for his life to actually score some points there.
Yeah, and Sage and Nico there. Oh, Murugan goes to the outside. Oh, there's contact with the cars. This is really turning out to be where all the action happens. This turn 12 there. Murugan there getting wide. And then Murugan there spins in the green car. Just a little bit too aggressive. And ran out of ability or talent, or maybe had contact or something, and he's gone wide.
And that puts paid to any points that he could have scored in this round. So unfortunate for Murugan, and we're gonna have to move on from that one as we look back here still to Sage Nico, and he's still behind Kimo. In fact, McGregor's actually gotten ahead of them. So yeah, this is actually turned out to be a really great battle in the midfield. Is that Calvin Powell onto the inside? I think it is Calvin Powell trying to overtake Villanueva. Oh, Kimo spins, and that's actually going to cause a bit of a kerfuffle through the pack. A lot of drivers get caught up by that, and that crucially might have been Kelvin Powell. No, it isn't actually. That's actually Villanueva.
Yeah, so Villanueva was the unlucky guy. They looked like he was battling with Kelvin Powell, and yeah, he's just dropped all the way back there. Got caught up with Keith Moore's spin. Such a shame for the Filipino driver. And there he is now in 13th position, where he was in the top 10 earlier. Dives down the inside of Keith Moore. He's annoyed. He wants to try and get his position back. And then he goes really wide and now loses 2 positions. Nico's defending the inside, which is a smart move.
Oh, who's that coming in very, very hot?
Whoa!
Behind him. That is actually Chris Chu, I think. No, is actually Yan Ming. So,
and Locke gets through the second.
Sorry, that is Azmi Arifin. And Locke actually gets up to, was that 4th place? Yeah, that was a big he's the big beneficiary of that. But Azmi Arifin now has a potential to actually take 2 positions away from both of them. He nearly went into the back of both of them. He had an absolute lunge there, and could have taken 4th place as Nico then goes up to 4th.
Runs wide though, not too wide though, still able to hold the position. Whoa, side by side as he goes through turns 3 and 4. And Locke just gets in front, gets his nose in front at the exit of this corner.
Wow, and the battle's still not over yet. We still have Azmi Arifin involved with both of them. And here he is now around the outside. Nico and Azmi Arifin go side by side, almost door handle to door handle. The proverbial door handle, because we're going to use that term more often. As is that Yan Ming also involved? Yes, it is. So 4 cars involved here for the rest of the point scoring positions from 4th all the way to 7th. This is an absolutely brilliant battle. And Nico then goes onto the inside of Andrew Lowe. Does he get the move done? No, he doesn't. They go side by side. 4 cars in one shot. In fact, they nearly went three abreast there, coming through turn 8. This is an absolutely amazing sight to see.
Wow, it's top racing indeed. And then Yang Ming in the green car just watching, also had a slide coming out of that chicane. I think, let's see, Nico's going to send it down the inside. No, he decides to just be really late on the brakes. Goes around the outside, in fact. I think Locke was just a bit too conservative and braked just super early for turn 12. Now he goes super aggressive and now goes too aggressive and goes completely wide. And whoa! And then down the inside. It's like,
Yang Ming.
That's Yang Ming.
So that's the academy driver trying to go through the inside. So that's 2 kids going at it.
So Nico there up in 4th position, and Azmi Arifin in 5th, and Yang Ming still surviving that right now in 6th position. At the front though, let's go back to the other McGregor. There's Jack McGregor's pulling out a bit of a gap now, 1.3 seconds in front of Sia, and then Kenneth Wong there in 3rd position. Some small gaps there. Down in 4th position, of course, we've got Nico Sage there.
And looking at the guys who are actually in the top 3, in fact, all of them are Singaporeans, so it's a good day for Singapore here if things finish where they stand. And indeed, it's inevitably going to be standing that way because they're so far ahead. In fact, 3 seconds ahead of Saints Nico. So Nico's going to get a very good weekend as well, a 1st and a 4th place. So that's going to do his well, he's not going to challenge for the championship just yet because in fact, his contention for the championship is well out of it unless something happens to Kevin Powell, but good points for him nonetheless. Jack McGregor holds on here to take victory at Aragon Race 2. 2nd, closely, would be Sean Sia. 3rd would be Kenneth Wong. And Sage Nico then, he waves across the line to take a very good 4th place. And indeed, a very good weekend. Yang Ming will be in 6th as Azmi Arifin comes across the line to finish 5th. That would be a good recovery for him after his disastrous race round last time at Watkins Glen. 7th, Kevin Powell, who actually will increase his lead at the top of the championship. 8th there, Chris Chu just nicks it off from Nicky Lim. And 9th will be Bretton Watanabe with John McGregor falling back outside the top 10. So he didn't get points either.
So race 1, I won my first race in E1 racing, but it was still hard to keep up with Kelvin Powell because he's really fast. And the 2nd race, there's so much traffic and it's so hard to overtake. And at the end I was 4th, but all the Singaporeans ahead and 3rd and 2nd and 1st were too far ahead that I can overtake them. So see you in the next race. Like, subscribe and share. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.